releasing amazing titles to massive financial decline, how did they nearly die before then rising from the grave, refusing defeat? Capcom didn't collapse overnight. It was gradual. Something like a slow, painful zombie infection if the T-virus wasn't instantaneous. Here's why. See, in the mid-2000s, the gaming industry took a huge shift. And we had massive, successful titles such as Gears of War, Call of Duty previously, Halo, and so on. These genre of games were fast-paced shooters that took the gaming industry by storm. Capcom, they seen the success of this and they wanted in. This is when Capcom started to outsource to Western titles with games like Devil May Cry Remake, Lost Planet 3, Dark Void, and everyone's favorite Operation Raccoon City. Just kidding. This is where the cracks in the faults began to show. Fans got to criticizing Capcom for abandoning its strengths, and I was in no doubt one of them. But the real major factor in all this was, of course, Resident Evil 6. While Resident Evil 5 showed simple signs that Capcom were regressing, it still wasn't all a horrible game. In fact, I adore some of its strength, but how could Capcom drop the ball so hard? Well, yeah, they did. See, this moment created a slew of problematic events that would unfold into a flurry of boulders Chris couldn't protect us from. The creative collapse occurred in October 2010 when Kenji Inafune, the face of Mega Man, Dead Rising, and head of research, just up and left after 23 years. He hated his job and just wanted to try his talents elsewhere, which is insane considering he was the driving force behind the push for Western style games. Capcom was left with the Western outsourced games that were already in development, and to make it worse, this era we lost more creative members of the team like Shinji Mikami, known for Resident Evil and Resident Evil 4, Hideki Kamiya, the creator of Devil May Cry, who both founded their own separate gaming studios, might I add. The company experienced many years of disappointments with their games due to catering to many different audiences, which is why Resident Evil 6 felt like all their games amassed into one. Not to mention online ports and action-packed versions no one asked for, like Operation Raccoon City. By 2016, and profits declined due to lack of major success, with Capcom financial results from April 1st to June 30th being cited to lose $104 million, a 24% decline when compared to the period of 2015. Capcom were at their lowest. I lost hope, fans lost hope, and just like that, they vanished into the darkness. But there was a glimmer of light. They refused to die. So the question is, why won't they die? The answer was Resident Evil 7, the game that completely revitalized the series, returning it to its former glory. That isn't an understatement either. That's just facts. The sequel took everything back to the basics: survival horror, item management, stalker enemies like Resident Evil 2 and 3, the new RE engine, and just pure terror. Of course, first person had people scratching their heads, including me, but some who were willing to give it a chance and were blown away. Capcom was back. How did they stay afloat? It's easy. They finally stopped chasing trends and returned to what made them special in the first place. 2018, the next year, Capcom released another one of their IPs that exploded with popularity, called Monster Hunter World. The game became a global phenomenon and transformed the series into a worldwide blockbuster hit. Then something happened. Fans wanted more Resident Evil. More importantly, they wanted a remake that matched Resident Evil 1 remake from 2002, and we did get it, but better. This remake forever changed the gaming landscape, having companies later follow Capcom's DNA, and for us fans to see our favorite classics in more modern HD setting. The winning streak continued with Resident Evil 3, and while it had issues for some of it, it was a success. Then Monster Hunter Rise and Resident Evil Village. Capcom was on crack. We even got the return of Street Fighter 6 that washed the ass taste I had from Street Fighter 5 right out my taste buds. Capcom was not only resurrected, but they even recaptured the lightning in a bottle. They survived because they stood by their timeless IPs and built great technology like the RE engine that allowed them to pump out games yearly with no problem while also being in good quality. Most importantly, they stopped chasing trends. Capcom went back to being Capcom. They stopped trying to be shitty Call of Duty. Of course, they couldn't have done it without their teams in each division and working hard at each IP. I feel like a lot of studios need to look at Capcom for inspiration. We don't always need a game to be in development hell for 7 years for it to even look good or even be good. You can still make good games with the right strategy. You just need heart, and that's what Capcom has. They saw where their flaws were and immediately fixed them. They won the fans' hearts back. This is something to commend. Now, we have more bangers coming after the success of Requiem and their new IP, Pragmata, and it doesn't look like Capcom is stopping anytime soon. Shout out to my fiance who edited the script. She's amazing. If you guys want more videos like this, please click the video on the left where we discuss Bethesda's never-ending downfall, or you can click the video on the right to get updates on upcoming videos. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell, and let's discuss in the comment section below on what Capcom game you're excited for next. All right, my dreamers, count your sheep, catch your Z's, and go to sleep. Peace out.